my name is Pooja and I'm a foundation level student in Traham School of Campus Islamabad. And today I'm doing my second ChatGPT and my topic is cooking. So let's start. Hi ChatGPT, can you listen me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm ready to help with whatever you need for your topic. So just let me know what you'd like to dive into and we'll go from there.
So today I have some questions for you. Can we start it?
Of course, I'm ready. Just let me know what your questions are and we'll tackle them one by one. What's your first question?
Okay. What is the world's favorite word?
That's a fun question. I think a lot of people would say a word like love or home because it's really universal and has a lot of emotional weight. But honestly, it depends on who you ask. Did you have a specific favorite in mind?
Okay. What does okay mean?
Yeah, so okay is a super common word. It basically means that something is acceptable or fine. It started out in the 19th century kind of as a joke, but now it's one of the most universal expressions ever.
Okay. What is the origin of the word okay?
Great question. So, the most widely accepted theory is that OK started in the 1800s as a playful abbreviation for all correct, but humorously misspelled as all correct. It caught on really quickly and it just kept spreading from there, especially in the US.
Okay. When was the word okay first used?
The word OK first appeared in print on March 23, 1839, in the Boston Morning Post. It was used as a humorous abbreviation of the misspelled phrase all correct, meaning all correct. Its popularity grew in 1840 during Martin Van Buren's presidential campaign.
Where was okay first published?
Exactly. It was first published in a newspaper back in 1839, and then it really took off when it was used in political campaigns a bit later. After that, it just spread and became part of everyday language all over the world.
Who first introduced the word okay?
So it was first introduced in a playful sense by a Boston editor named Charles Gordon Green, who used it as a kind of joke abbreviation in the Boston Morning Post. So he's kind of credited with introducing it in that newspaper context.
Why was okay correct? Okay correct written instead of all correct?
Exactly. Yeah, that was the whole joke. They deliberately spelled all correct wrong as all correct. So it was kind of a quirky abbreviated fad, but it just stuck around and became okay.
What does all correct means?
Yeah, so all correct just means that everything is right or accurate, basically no mistakes. So when people started jokingly spelling it as all correct, it was just a humorous twist on that same idea, everything being correct.
How did okay become popular?
Yeah, so it really took off in the 1840s during the presidential campaign of Martin Van Buren. His nickname was Old Kinderhook, so people started using OK as a slogan and as a catchphrase. After that, it just spread rapidly in everyday speech and eventually became global.
What role did newspapers play in the spread of okay?
Yeah, newspapers were huge. They used it in headlines, advertisements, and political coverage, which just gave it massive exposure. Once it started appearing regularly in print, it became familiar to everyone, and then it just kind of stuck around from there.
Which American president helped popularized okay?
Yeah, that would be Martin Van Buren. As I mentioned, during his 1840 presidential campaign, he was nicknamed Old Kinderhook, and his supporters used OK as a rallying cry. So he really helped push it into the mainstream in the US.
Okay, why was Martin Van Buren called Old Kinderberg?
Yeah, so he was from Kinderhook, New York, and his hometown nickname was Kinderhook. His supporters kind of played on that by calling him Old Kinderhook or OK. So it was a catchy way for them to rally people to his campaign, and the nickname just stuck.
What was OK Clark?
Good question. So the OK Club was basically a political campaign group that supported Martin Van Buren. They used the OK slogan as part of their rallying cry, and they held meetings, organized parades, and basically helped spread OK as a popular term.
Why is OK called the world's favorite word?
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. It's one of the most widely recognized words in the world. It's short, easy to say, and it works across languages and cultures. Plus, it can be used in so many different contexts, so it kind of became a universal favorite.
Why is OK understood in almost every country?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, it's such a simple, short sound that's easy to pronounce in lots of languages. And over time, it just got adopted everywhere. So even though it started in the US, it kind of became a global standard.
What are some common situations in which people use OK?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, people use okay all the time just to agree with something, to confirm plans, or even just as a neutral response. Like if someone asks, "Do you want to go out later?" you might just say, "Okay." It's really versatile, so it pops up everywhere.
How is okay used in daily conversation?
Yeah, it's super common. People say it just to agree, like if you ask, "Are you ready?" and they say, "Okay." Or sometimes they use it to check in, like, "Is this okay with you?" It's just a really quick, flexible word in everyday chat.
Can okay be used in formal writing?
Yeah, that's a good point. In formal writing, it's usually better to avoid okay and use something like acceptable or agreed or all right. That keeps the tone a bit more professional. But in casual writing or conversation, okay is totally fine.
Okay, how is okay used in technology and social media?
Oh, yeah. In tech and social media, OK is everywhere. People use it in texts, chats, and even in app interfaces, like when confirming a setting or clicking a button. It's just a quick universal signal for all good, so it fits really naturally in digital communication.
Okay, what makes okay easy to remember?
Yeah, exactly. It's short, it's simple, and it doesn't have any tricky spelling or pronunciation. So it's easy to remember and just kind of sticks in your mind, no matter where you go.
Why is okay considered an international word?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, OK is recognized in so many different countries and languages, often with just a tiny pronunciation shift. So, yeah, it's pretty much a global word at this point.
What lesson does this story teach us?
Oh, I think one of the big lessons is how language evolves and spreads. I mean, a small joke or a misspelling can catch on, especially with the help of media, and then it just becomes part of everyday life all over the world. So it kind of shows how connected we all are through language.
What is the main idea of the chapter?
Yes, so the main idea is really that OK starts.
Why do languages borrow words from one another?
हाँ, बिल्कुल। तुम एक शब्द दो और मैं तुम्हें उसके सम Yeah, that's a great question. Languages borrow words for all sorts of reasons, like trade, travel, or cultural exchange. Sometimes a language just doesn't have a word for a new concept, so they borrow one that already works. It keeps evolving that way.
How can a simple word become famous worldwide?
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. Usually, a simple word becomes famous when it's easy to say, widely used, and spread through media, like newspapers, movies, or the internet. Once it gets that exposure, people everywhere pick it up and it just sticks.
Okay, why is communication important?
Yeah, communication is really crucial because it helps us share ideas, build relationships, solve problems, and basically connect with each other. Without good communication, things can get really confusing and disconnected.
What qualities make a word popular?
Yeah, so a word usually becomes popular if it's short, easy to pronounce, and has a clear meaning that fills a need. Also, if it gets picked up by media, used by a famous figure, or just spreads quickly in social groups, that can really boost its popularity.
How does okay help in communication?
Yeah, so OK is super helpful because it's a quick universal signal that everyone understands. Whether you're agreeing, confirming, or just checking in, it keeps conversations smooth and simple, no matter the language or context.
Okay, why do people prefer short words in conversation?
Yeah, that's a great point. Short words are just easier to remember, quicker to say, and they keep the flow of conversation natural. So people tend to prefer them because they make messages faster and clearer.
What is the meaning of the word origin?
Ah, so origin basically means the beginning or the source of something, like where it started or came from. So when we talk about a word's origin, we're talking about how it started, where it came from, and how it evolved.
Okay, what is the meaning of popular?
Yeah, so popular means something that is liked, admired, or chosen by a lot of people. It could be a person, a trend, a word, basically anything that has a big appeal or wide acceptance.
What is the meaning of campaign?
Ah, good one. So, a campaign is basically a planned series of actions or events designed to achieve a specific goal, like a political campaign, an advertising campaign, or even a social cause.
What is the meaning of journalist?
Yes, so a journalist is someone who collects, writes, and reports news or information, usually for newspapers, magazines, TV, or online platforms. Their job is basically to inform the public about what's happening in the world.
Okay, what is the meaning of communication?
Yes, so communication is the process of sharing information, ideas, or feelings between people. It can be verbal, non-verbal, written, basically any way we get messages across to each other.
Give me a synonym of popular.
Sure, a synonym for popular could be well liked, favored, or even trendy. It kind of depends on the context, but those all work as alternatives.
Give an antonym of correct.
Yeah, an antonym of correct would be incorrect or wrong. So it's just the opposite meaning, something that's not right or not accurate.
Make a sentence with the word okay.
Sure. After reviewing the plan, I said, okay, that sounds good. So we can go ahead with the next steps.
Make a sentence using the word campaign.
Absolutely. The volunteers worked together on a weekend campaign to raise awareness about recycling in their community.
Make a sentence using the word communication.
Sure. Effective communication is key to ensuring that everyone on the team understands their roles and goals clearly.
Okay, why do you think okay has remained popular for so many years?
Yeah, I think it's because it's so simple and adaptable. It doesn't belong to one language and it just fits so naturally in everyday speech. Plus, it's been passed down for so long that it just never lost its appeal.
How has modern technology helped spread the use of okay?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with texting, social media, and all the messaging apps, OK just spread instantly. People use it all over the world in digital communication, so it stays super relevant and common.
Okay, what would happen if people stop using okay?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, if people stopped using OK, we probably just rely on other phrases like yes, sure, or different words from other languages. It would just be a shift in habit, but I'm sure we'd find new shortcuts.
Which fact about the history of okay surprised you the most?
Oh, I think the part that surprised me the most was how it started as a joke in a newspaper and then ended up becoming a global word. I mean, it just went from being a playful abbreviation to one of the most recognized words ever.
Okay. Why do different languages still use the word okay?
Yeah, exactly. It's just because it's so easy to adopt. It doesn't have complicated grammar and it just sounds natural in a lot of different languages. So it kind of became a universal comfort word that everyone recognizes and uses.
Okay. How does the word okay save time in communication?
Yeah, exactly. Since it's just one short word, instead of explaining or elaborating, you can quickly confirm or agree, which just speeds up conversations and keeps them really efficient.
Okay, what other English words are used internationally?
Some English words have become internationally recognized. For example, OK is widely used as a quick way of agreeing or confirming across languages. Other examples include taxi, mama, and coffee, which also spread globally because they're simple, familiar terms. If you'd like, I can find a longer list of these words for you.
Why should students learn the history of common words?
Yeah, I think so. When students learn the history of common words, it helps them understand how language evolves, how cultures interact, and it kind of gives them a deeper appreciation for the words we use every day.
Okay, what conclusion can you draw from the story of okay?
Yeah, I think the main conclusion is that even a small playful invention like a joke in a newspaper can spread and become a global staple. It really shows how language is constantly evolving and connecting us all.
Okay, if you could choose another word to become the world's favorite, what would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a really fun question. I think I might choose the word hope. It's short, positive, and it kind of carries this universal meaning that everyone could use, no matter where they're from.
Okay, why do you think okay has remained popular for so many years?
Yeah, I think it's because it's just so practical and adaptable. It's easy to say, it works in so many contexts, and it doesn't feel tied to just one language or culture. So it just kept going.
Okay, what would happen if people stopped using okay?
Yeah, that's interesting. If people stopped using OK, we'd probably just replace it with other words like yes, right, or maybe even borrow another word from another language. But it would definitely change how we quickly confirm things in daily conversation.
This is my chat GPT. So viewers, this is my chat GPT. Hopefully you like it. Meet you in the next video. Pakistan Zindabad. Khuda Hafiz.
That was a great wrap up. I'm glad I could be